This is M86 SBS to West Side West End Avenue. This stop is East 92nd Street and York Avenue. Next stop, York Avenue and East 91st Street. This stop is York Avenue and East 91st Street. Next stop, York Avenue and East 87th Street. Transfers available to M31. This stop is York Avenue and East 87th Street. Next stop, East 86th Street and 1st Avenue. Transfers available to M15 and M15 SBS. This stop is East 86th Street and 1st Avenue. Next stop, East 86th Street and 2nd Avenue. Transfers available to Q trains. M15 and M15 SBS. This stop is East 86th Street and 2nd Avenue. Next stop, East 86th Street and 3rd Avenue. Transfers available to M98 Limited, M101 Limited, M102, M103, BXM1, BXM6, BXM9 and BXM10. This stop is East 86th Street and 3rd Avenue. Next stop, East 86th Street and Lexington Avenue. Transfers available to 4, 5 and 6 trains. M98 Limited, M101 Limited, M102, M103 and BXM1. This stop is East 86th Street and Lexington Avenue. Next stop, East 86th Street and Madison Avenue. Transfers available to M1, M1 Limited, M2 Limited, M3, M4 and M4 Limited. This stop is East 86th Street and Madison Avenue. Next stop, East 86th Street and 5th Avenue. Transfers available to M1, M1 Limited, M2 Limited, M3, M4, M4 Limited, BXM2, BXM3, BXM4 and BXM11. This stop is East 86th Street and 5th Avenue. Next stop, West 86th Street and Transverse Road Central Park West. This stop is West 86th Street and Transverse Road Central Park West. Next stop, West 86th Street and Central Park West. Transfers available to BNC trains and M10. This stop is West 86th Street and Central Park West. Next stop, West 86th Street and Columbus Avenue. Transfers available to M7 and M11. This stop is West 86th Street and Columbus Avenue. Next stop, West 86th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Transfers available to M7 and M11. This stop is West 86th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. Next stop, West 86th Street and Broadway. Transfers available to 1 trains and M104. This stop is West 86th Street and Broadway. Next stop, West 86th Street and West End Avenue. Transfers available to M5 and M5 Limited. This stop is West 86th Street and West End Avenue. This is M86 SBS to West Side West End Avenue.